The guilt and shame of opioid addiction is a roadblock that prevents people from getting the help they need. Overcoming the stigma and recognizing that addicts with substance abuse disorders are not always at fault is the topic of this week's Addicted in PA. Here's Fox 56's Jane Adonizio with more.
For this Addicted in PA segment, we're talking about the stigma of drug addiction and what one group in our area is doing to break down the walls that keep people trapped. The Lackawanna Recovery Coalition is headed by Lackawanna County District Attorney Mark Powell. Mark is joining us now. Mark, what can you tell me about the coalition, what it does?
As a prosecutor, we can't just worry about the supply. We have to also address the demand. And the Recovery Coalition is a group of experts from all different fields that works just on that, trying to see what affects addicts and look to solutions to make it work. They're doctors, pharmacists, rehab specialists, and law enforcement all working together.
Thanks, Mark. We turn now to Lori Chaffeur. She works in the county's Office of Youth and Family Services. Specifically, she's the Program Director of Social Services Research and Development. Lori, what has the Lackawanna Recovery Coalition learned about the stigma of addiction and how to reduce it in the county?
So we've had the opportunity to conduct 2 rounds of surveys in the last 2 years looking at if what we're doing is working to reduce stigma. And what we found is that people are beginning to understand in a way they hadn't before that addiction isn't just a choice, that really it's a disease, and that people can recover if they get the right treatment. And so while we're making progress in changing people's mindsets about that, we still know that there's enough stigma and enough people who think that people are just choosing to fall into substance abuse that it makes them uncomfortable to come forward for the treatment they need. And so we're working really hard to continue to work with our community and talk with them about how this is a disease and how in order for people to get the treatment and recovery that they can have and that they desire, they need to not have the fear of coming forward and asking for that help. Specifically, we're also looking at our first responders and how we can help them who are dealing with the tribulations of substance abuse every day in their work, and how we can support them in really seeing this as a disease and helping people get to treatment so that they are not also traumatized by the effects of substance abuse in our community.
Thanks so much, Lori. Definitely some positive steps in overcoming the stigma of addiction so that everybody is a little healthier. Thanks for joining us. For Addicted in PA, I'm Jane Adonizio.
And there's much more information about the Lackawanna Recovery Coalition and links on our website at fox56.com. We'll continue to follow the Lackawanna County District Attorney's fight on the opioid epidemic on next week's Addicted in PA.